Welcome back to our game. I have officially written out everything we needed to do this session, so I'm not as lost as I was last time to re-say that to you guys. But I do, at the beginning of every single game I play and or run, go over the session summary of the last session. So just to keep you guys up to date, I'm sure most of you, hopefully, remember what we did last session. But we're going to get started here. I'm going to re-describe a bunch of stuff to you guys after the session summary, but I'm just going to first start by telling you what was done last session. So, last week, we had the introduction of our party. Belzaren the half-elf, Izod the tiefling, Ravi the dwarf, and Arzaroth the elf, who also has a pet panther named Tezaro. You guys last week kind of went over your daily routines in the village of Dowerdald on the east coast of the Terrace Wilderness on the continent of Unitamid. You guys each went over your different routines of getting up in the morning, getting your coffee, going to study, going hunting, doing all these different things that you normally do. Izod got into a little tussle with Goliath. You know, you've all done different things, and it didn't take long for one of you to get into a fight. To be fair, I started it. But the day went by kind of fast for you guys. You guys spent most of the day in the Wandering Walrus. Some of you left to go study. For instance, Belzaren, you went to the Oracle's house years, where she kind of allows you to study on things such as different planes, as you've been doing. Also, you guys all were looking for kind of an assortment of jobs, as each of you kind of just wanted to get out of the Wandering Walrus for the day. To remind you, Belzaren and Izod, you guys went hunting in the outskirts of the Hemial Forest, and you guys also actually had some pretty good days hunting. Unfortunately, you didn't get to keep any of your catches, but you caught something, so let's keep that in mind. I'd say that's a good thing. As for Ravi and Arzaroth, you guys were joked to, given a crappy quest to go rip weeds out of an old farmhouse's land. And also, you were not only not going to do it, but you decided you were just going to trade in the note that was left on the door for you.
Well, no, we did a little bit of it.
Yeah,
Still a little, not all of it.
I believe you, but what I also believe is you're a liar. So you guys were going to take the letter off the door and bring it back to Miscus, where basically you were going to give him that for just the payment.
Miscus is an asshole anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Of course he is, because as you guys were doing these oddball jobs, you found yourselves in a little bit of a pickle.
Bit of a pickle. Not crazy.
Each of you from a distance could see that Dowerdal, small village that you've been living in for years, was burning to the ground before your eyes. This was devastating. It was a fear that struck you all pretty hard. So you took up arms and ran back, threw away the stock that you caught in the forest, and you made your way back to the city, where you found everybody running around, frantic, freaking out, no guards in sight, bandits fighting off all these civilians and killing all these people, burning down all these buildings, where you came in like badasses and beat their asses. In cool ways, I might add. You then, in turn, after beating these bandits, found out that Miscus, the Wandering Walrus Inn owner, he had actually known about this bandit camp, and instead of taking it seriously, as he's been warned, as he was saying to you guys, he ignored the problem. He didn't tell anybody to take care of the problem. So now, of course, he has regret on his side, because he has to sit here and kind of just take the take the idea that this is his fault. None of you guys were having that shit, though. You were done with him instantly. You followed him all the way to the mayor's building when the guards picked him up when they came back. You met Mayor, Still Bryan. Yeah, I have him written down. I just forgot to put him in this. And Still Bryan basically was like, so you've known of this problem for a while, decided to do nothing about it, and then insult my intelligence by coming in here and acting like, oh, technically it was our fault for not having the guards around. He shackled Miscus, threatened to exile him or throw him in the dungeons if he did not help stop these bandits from doing this to anybody else. He then put his eyes on Izod, and he put his eyes on Ravi, and he realized, I need someone to take care of this for me. So he looked at you guys, and he pretty much commanded it from you. You were the only ones in sight. He was a pissed off man. He said, go take care of this and take anyone and anything you need with you to get it done. Miscus will help you guys, not by coming with you, but by showing you the way to get there. Go ahead.
I believe he also offered us like 50 copper.
He
I'm just
did.
going to throw that out there. Paul, the player, would tell you that. Izod wouldn't, but Paul's going to.
He definitely offered you a hefty sum of copper to get
Something
this
like
job
50
done.
copper, I don't remember.
And he basically said, you know, if you get this done for us, we'll forever be in your debt, but we will be paying you as well. So, be that how it may, you guys now stand before yourselves in your rooms at the Wandering Walrus Inn early in the morning. Now, I am gonna. You guys are all on roll 20, so I will get a little music going. So, you guys sit in this now crispy, burnt up building, which one of your rooms was actually completely destroyed in the fire that took place here the day before. Ravi and Arzaroth, your room was completely destroyed in the fire.
That's okay.
The day before. But luckily for you, you took all your things. As for Izod and Belzaren, your rooms were fine, so you got to sleep in your normal rooms for the night. At the end of the problems that occurred yesterday, you guys all took your rest. And basically, the day is yours now. Miscus said that he would make a map for you to the Daclin Camp, and that is all he could do to help you. Any information you want to squeeze out of him is on you. But he awaits you downstairs as he does every morning, because it is business as usual when you all awaken to the sounds of birds and the sun rising. Izod, you slept in a little longer than you meant to today, so you got to see the sunrise. Outside, you guys can hear everything from the normal sounds you would hear of firewood being split, since you are in the middle of winter currently. You also sit here and you can hear people yelling, shouting at each other, building up the buildings that were burnt down the other day. Things coming, basically, you can hear people getting rid of the rubble that of the plots of land that were completely burnt down, and you can also hear a town crier yelling, the plague's tale, bring out your dead, as he'd be walking down the path outside, being that a good amount of people actually did die in this attack. So let us start in order once again. Izod, you still wake up the earliest on this early morning. You know that your crew, your party, you guys all together are sleeping up here in different rooms, but you still do wake up the earliest. It is just dawn, and it is probably about 7 in the morning. You usually wake up at 4, so you're a little weird that you slept in for a couple extra hours this morning.
It was a long day.
Yeah, it was. You guys each, anybody who was attacked yesterday, which I know a few of you were actually beat up, you guys, each of you have like cuts and wounds that are currently wrapped up, bruises that are still painful to you, and some of your things are very dirty and damaged from the battles that took place yesterday. So, what would you be doing today, Mr. Izod? Mrs. Izod. Miss Izod.
So this time, knowing that today we're going to not stay, I am going to pack up all of my things and prepare to go. So I am leaving nothing behind. I have all my weapons with me. Unlike last time. Going downstairs, upon seeing Miscus still here, he's still here. I will kind of act normal, act like everything's okay. I'm not going to give him grief about anything yet because we still need him. Doesn't mean I don't think that maybe harsher punishment is necessary. But I'll totally. I've already given him his warning last night with knocking on the door and threatening him within an inch of his life. So just totally average. I'll sit down. Hopefully, I'll get a meal and wait for the others to awaken so that we can chat about anything that we need to.
Sorry, I was muted. Sorry. So when you originally walk downstairs, Miscus isn't sitting at the bar like he normally is. The room is still completely dirty and damaged. There are charred pieces of wood all over the floor. There, where the hearth is, there's collapsed rubble within it. So it's still very, very damaged in this room. The glass, the shelves, all the bar. There's no alcohol on the bar anymore. And Miscus's door is creaked open this moment.
Okay. I am going to go and check that very quickly.
Okay. Upon reaching his back room door, you slam it open, I'm guessing. And inside, a startled Miscus turns around and he's like, "What are you doing in here?"
I just wanted to make sure that you did not run away.
How dare you break into my room after
How
a bandit
dare
attack?
I?
Right. So, if you may leave, I would like to get dressed. At this moment, you will notice that he is still in a nightgown-esque thing. So you kind of broke open his door while he's like mid getting ready for the morning shift. And he's pissed. Immediately, if you back up, he slams the door in your face and locks both latches.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother him on that.
Yeah. If you want to also roll me a perception check really quick.
Oh, please. Okay. Perception, that's a total of 20.
Okay. You would have noticed in that room, stuff was tossed and turned. It looked like he was ripping up his room, looking for something. The other thing you would have noticed as well is there is no escape areas in that room. There are no windows in that room. So
okay.
You know that his only entry and exit would be this door unless he found another way to escape.
So if it's possible, when I sit down, I'm going to make sure that that door is within sight.
Of course. We'll say that you don't sit at your normal table today. You actually go sit at a closer table. There aren't even many tables left in here. So what we can do is you can sit at the bar, and at the bar you'll be directly corner to corner with the actual the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Yeah. Upon sitting here for a few moments, you hear him rummaging through his things as Belzaren, you come wandering down the steps to the Wandering Walrus Tavern.
I'm kind of gonna, once I see him, I'm gonna shoot him a little bit of a look, but that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not really gonna say anything or anything like that. I'm just
Izod? Are you talking about Izod?
Yeah,
Okay. Izod is also a woman. Let's keep in mind.
her. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's
Forgot.
Get your
That's
pronouns
I
right.
didn't know if you were talking about Miscus.
Miscus.
Yeah.
No.
Miscus is
Oh
not
wait, no.
correctly here.
I did mean. Is the innkeeper not in there? My bad.
No,
Never
you're
mind
good.
then. I'm just gonna sit down at my normal table then.
Okay. Your table doesn't exist anymore. So
I'm gonna
there
find
are
a different table then.
there are a couple seats at the bar if you want to just sit next to Izod.
Yeah,
who is
I'll
already
just
sitting.
sit at the bar.
So Izod, as you're sitting here, kind of intently staring at this wooden door, as you hear rummaging in the back room, you hear the stool next to you kind of creak on the floor as Belzaren pulls up a chair and sits next to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yesterday was interesting.
Quite.
And then I just kind of start eating.
Okay. So there is always bread on this table. That is probably the only thing that is left in this room. So that when you go to take a bite of this bread, you instantly like crack your teeth on it. It has been out all night. It is stale. The front door of this place has been swinging open and closed because the latch broke during the fight yesterday. So the cold air from outside is currently getting in. As you guys are sitting here, though, the tavern door creaks open. And upon looking over, two guards wander in and shut the door behind them. And they... Where is the innkeeper?
Currently changing.
Has he aided you?
Not yet.
Let us know when he does. We'll be standing outside of this building. They then take their leave, wander out, and you can see through the cracks of the walls that have been ripped open in the door that's been swinging open. The two guards standing there. One intently, you hear him go, "What the hell is that?" And then he's like, "Oh," as you hear the pitter patter of the panther walking outside out front of the building. The guard like basically almost ran into the building. You heard like the latch begin to open, and he stopped himself, and he's like, "Oh, damn animal."
I look over because I didn't realize he wasn't talking about me.
Oh yeah, no, yes, he definitely was talking about something outside. You've been here long enough. Tazaro has also been here long enough, but you both have been here long enough to where you still startle people, but at the same time, like they're more easygoing with you. Tazaro is still a wild animal who might attack at any moment. So, but as timing may be perfect at this point, Ravi and Arzaroth come wandering down the steps. Arzaroth, you hear the shout from outside of this guard who flips out because he sees your panther. You guys also see your two new met colleagues sitting at the bar waiting for Miscus to come out of his room. Izod and Belzaren, you also see these two come wandering down the steps. You guys are currently the only patrons in this room and living in this inn.
I think I'm gonna shoot him a glance and then head over to that guard and tell him at ease.
Okay. Yeah, the guard, he's like, I don't know who you're commanding, but I'm fine. And he stands front and he keeps his face forward, and Tazaro is standing outside, kind of just pacing back and forth. He sees you and he comes wandering up to you, and he sees the kind of the cut he left underneath your neck and chin from when he accidentally hit you last night. And he kind of licks your face and curdles up to you. He has not been fed today. Nobody else in this town feeds him, and there is only the stale bread in the inn from what you could have you've seen.
I think I give him a few pets and try to find him something to eat other than the fucking bread.
Okay. There are stores in town. There are people that walk around. There's a bunch of people outside kind of doing their thing right now. But before you can do that, you guys are kind of standing in the doorway. Miscus, The latches on his door unlatch, and he comes wandering out. Once again, Miscus is a shorter man with gray hair. He seems to be unsettled, very obviously, as he comes out and he's like, "Right. What am I doing to help you?"
I require meat.
You hear from behind you two. You both hear the elf shout, "I require meat." Another weird phrase coming from an elf. Miscus looks over both of you and he says, I have no food other than this bread. It was taken by the bandits.
Fuck your bread. I think I'm headed to the store. Get some meat.
Caesar's store is right up the way.
Think I'll head there.
As for you two, what can I do for you? I've got no alcohol, I've got no coffee, no food.
As far as meals and comforts go, I am all set. If the others are all set as well, a map.
Half elf, what do you want?
I believe I am perfectly fine as well.
And dwarf?
I'm all set.
Then let's get down to business. What do you need from me?
I did say a map. I don't know if I don't know if she'd say it again.
No, that was my bad. He looks at you and he's like, "Oh right. I have this half-drawn map for you of the entire Terrace Wilderness. It's not good enough, but he kind of goes in a satchel that he's got on his side. He brings it up and he places it on the table. It's kind of rolled up with the string tied around it, and he kind of, as he slides it to you, you go to reach it and he kind of stops you and he's, "I recommend you give this to Caesar as well. He will give you a real map of the region. Much better map for you to use. I don't quite know if this map will do you any justice." Moves his hand away from you as he kind of goes down underneath the desk and starts trying to clean up some of the glass that shattered the day before.
I'm gonna unroll it for everyone to see.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a look at the map.
Basically, I can draw it out and roll 20 because it is hand drawn, and he is not an artist. All right. He reveals to you this wonderful thing.
Oh boy.
What the fuck?
Is there?
Do you have a child we didn't know about?
Whose kid drew this?
This is labeled dower, so you know.
Okay.
There you go. And then this is labeled Daclin.
So based on that information, we can tell that this area over here is west. I'm sorry, north south. Yeah, west of where we are.
Yeah, so dower is east, Daclin is southwest.
All right.
And then
And
the Himul, that's the greater. So you see Himul there. That is the forest
Yeah.
you guys were hunting in, but you weren't hunting in that. You were hunting more so in a little patch that's right here. It kind of connects. Hold on. Kind of connects like that. So you
Mhm.
guys were kind of hunting here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
That would.
What are the 2 stars?
So,
Yeah.
from what you guys can perceive, why don't you make me survival checks?
Oh, I'm good at survival, I think.
I am actually pretty decent at that. Yeah.
What else? Oh, and I'm okay at it.
Alright.
Aha! 18.
22.
All right.
Close. Had that one on there.
Anybody else?
15.
All right, Ravi.
I want fucking Ravi, slow ass motherfucker.
9.
9. Okay, so Ravi, you
Ah.
definitely don't understand. Those are just stars on the map. But as for everybody else, you guys have left Dowerdald a few times. You can tell that these would be farmhouses just out in the field. They're the only things that would make sense to have symbols on a map. And of course, him recommending you guys go to Caesar, talk to Caesar to get a real map. You can tell he didn't put a lot of effort into this, or he's just 5 years old. You can't really tell if he was just doing it out of spite or if he just really can't draw. But
Is and perhaps I'm missing something. Is there an implication on any level that like where the bandits are, or is that Daclin?
Daclin. So there's no indication if bandits are even at Daclin, but that is the only place the line goes to. You can clearly tell that this is representing the road. But you're not exactly positive on the exact areas of where you're supposed to be going here. This is definitely this here. If I not do that, if I do this is definitely the main road here that goes all the way over here.
Yeah.
These are definitely farmhouses from what you can remember. This is obviously the Hemio Forest, which he didn't lie about, and this is Dower. Obviously, you've got the lake behind you, which you can assume, so you're not going that way. You're not sure whether or not this is exactly where the bandits are. You don't even know what the bandits group is called.
If no one else is going to say anything, that is going to be my next question to him.
Okay.
Where are you saying these bandits are located?
He quickly climbs himself back up from the floor, and he's like, points. He's like, they are located at Daclin. That's their camp. It's been their camp for 15 cycles now, I believe. In this world, cycles are years.
A better map will be required.
Yeah, agreed. So, once again, as you guys are standing here, the door once again swings open. You are all in this room as the 2 guards come back in. Miscus stands up quickly. He says, "Can I help you?" And they're like, "It's time for you to come with us, Miscus." It's like, I cannot do something like that. I have too much work to do here. And he's like, huh. Well, seems we're just gonna leave him alone then, huh? The other guy's like, yes, of course. And they immediately go around the desk and put his arms behind his back. And the original guard that freaked out about Tazaro outside looks at you guys and says, excuse us, but if your business is done with him, we need to take him away.
I believe our business is concluded, but I'll look to the others.
I have no more need of him.
Yeah, I don't need him either.
I don't even think I'm here. I think I'm at the store.
I think, well, yes, I think you went to the store. Yeah, you did go to the store. Everybody else kind of just like threw him under the bus and said goodbye to him. So they bow their heads to you guys. They tie a rope to his arms, and he's just like, please don't do this. And they take him away, and they rip him out of the building. Though, upon leaving, another guard comes in, this one wearing kind of a symbol on his chest. If anybody wants to roll a history check, they can try to determine what the symbol means.
I can't roll that 'cause
Yeah.
I'm not even there.
Yeah, you're not there.
I'll give it a
12.
shot.
12, Ravi.
History.
Izod,
17.
17.
Roll 20 is still rolling for me for whatever reason. Didn't just go instantly. There we go, 16.
16. All right, you all will be able to know what the symbol is. The symbol is one of the captains. There's the head guard, and then there's the captains below them. The symbol is kind of it is like the face of a wolf peering up at a crescent moon, pinned to his armor. If you've seen The Mandalorian, it's basically the metal on metal like symbol piercing the armor that he owns.
Do it like that.
He wanders in and this building is now condemned. Take your belongings and leave.
I'm gonna take a
I'll
piece
grab
of
all my
the
stuff and leave.
Okay.
terrible bread
Okay.
and walk out eating.
Shitty bread.
And Ravi?
Yeah, I'll just leave.
All right. So, I will say this for you guys, as you guys didn't say this, and I assume you did. You took all your things, of course. Your rooms have been completely emptied out, and as you wander out, Ravi, you're last in line to walk out. The captain comes wandering out. He closes the doors, and then he slaps a note on the door that says, "Condemned building will be torn down tomorrow's eve." So, this is kind of their way of rebuilding. They take everything that's been damaged down rather than patching it up, because it's just going to be work for them to do eventually. You guys have seen this a few times. There was a snowstorm like a couple years back. Whoever's been here for more than a year, you would have seen some of the roofs of these buildings collapse in, and they basically just destroyed them and rebuilt them. They have enough wood in this area from the Himul forest to rebuild. Upon leaving, you guys get one glimpse of Tazaro following Arzaroth down the road towards a small shop in the middle of town. It's the only shop in town. Everybody knows of this place. There is a blacksmith shop as well in town, but these would be